If you're over 60 and wondering how to start a YouTube channel, but you keep putting it off because you think you need better equipment, editing skills, more confidence, or some big personality for the internet, this video is for you. By the end of this video, you're going to know what you actually need to start, how to make recording feel less intimidating, and the first thing I want you to do before you ever worry about being good at YouTube. And baby, it's much simpler than you think. First thing I want you to know is this. You do not have to feel ready before you press record. You just have to be willing to begin. And starting YouTube after 60 feels a little bit like getting on a roller coaster. I'm already on the ride, still going up that first long climb. Click, click, click. And some of you are still standing in line trying to decide if you really want to get on. That is exactly why I want to talk to you now. I'm not teaching this from the end of the ride. I'm still on it. I'm just a few cars ahead of the woman who is still standing in line wondering, can I really do this? Yes, you can. Let's start with what you actually need. One of the easiest ways to delay starting YouTube is convincing yourself that you're still preparing. You need a better camera, you need lighting, you need a microphone, you need a beautiful background. You need to understand all the equipment first. Baby, 6 months later, you have researched everything except how it feels to actually press record. You do not need a studio to start. You need your phone, a simple tripod, a decent sound. That is enough to begin. Before you buy anything, sit in front of a window and see what that free sunlight can do. And test your sound. Your phone microphone may sound perfectly fine. Your earbuds may sound better. The important thing is not having the finest equipment. The important thing is making sure people can see you and hear you. And I can prove that your setup does not have to be perfect. This is what I started with. Broken. So when I tell you that everything does not have to be perfect in place before you start, I'm not guessing. Your first video does not need to prove that you're a great filmmaker. It needs to prove that you can finish. Now, maybe equipment is not what's really stopping you. Maybe you can hit the record button. But the minute that camera comes on, your whole personality leaves the building. You suddenly do not know where to look, what to say. Here is something that helped me tremendously. Stop talking to YouTube. Stop talking to the internet. Talk to one of your girlfriends, a woman sitting across from you who asked you a question, and answer her. If looking directly into that camera lens makes you nervous, put a picture of somebody you naturally talk to right beside the lens and talk to her. Not 1,000 strangers, not YouTube, one girlfriend, because you already know how to talk to her. You know how to say, girl, let me tell you what happened. That is the conversation you want to have on camera. And please do not convince yourself you need a brand new personality before you create content. And you definitely do not have to talk so fast that nobody can understand you. There is a difference between good pacing and speaking naturally. Good pacing means get to the point, remove long dead spaces, and move the useful information to the beginning. That does not mean rushing your personality. I watched one of my own videos and thought, girl, who is chasing you? The information was there, but the conversation was not. So remember this, pacing is not the same thing as speaking fast. Your natural voice matters. The goal is not to sound like somebody who knows how to make YouTube videos. The goal is to sound like you helping somebody. This may be one of the biggest things keeping women from beginning. You think you need to understand YouTube before you start YouTube. You do not. Some things you are only going to learn because you started. There are buttons you will not understand. There are things you will do the slow way before you learn the easy way. There are things you will look back 3 weeks from now and say, now what the world did I do that? That is part of learning. When I started, my hands were literally shaking as I edited my first video. I was scared to press something that I thought I couldn't fix. The fear was real, but here is what I know now. You do not have to wait for the fear to disappear. You do something while you are scared. Then you do it again. And the next time you know a little bit more. Then you do it again. And something that used to feel huge starts feeling normal. That is why I think starting YouTube feels like the roller coaster climb. You may not be flying down the hill yet, but you're moving. Courage grows through repetition. You are not supposed to know everything on the first video. Now let me say this. Preparation is useful. I am not telling you to jump into everything blindly. But there comes a point when preparation stops helping you move forward. At some point, you have to press record. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, T, I can press record, but what am I supposed to talk about? Start with something you already know from living your life. Think about something you have learned, survived, cooked, figured out, and ask yourself, could this make something easier for another woman? If the answer is yes, you have something to talk about. You do not need to know everything about the subject. You need to know enough from your lived experience to help the girlfriend or one or two steps behind you. Start there. Your life has already taught you things. You just have to recognize that some of those lessons may be useful to somebody else. So here is what I want you to do. Not next month, not after you research 10 more things. Pick up your phone, sit it on a tripod, sit somewhere with decent light, then think about one girlfriend and record for 1 minute. Answer one question, explain one thing, tell one useful story. The first goal is not views. The first goal is getting comfortable pressing the button and hearing yourself talk on camera. Then watch it back. And this is important. Do not watch it just to criticize your face. Do not criticize your age. Do not decide whether you look like somebody on television. Listen for this. Can I understand myself? Could I hear myself? Did I answer the question? Did I sound like me? That is enough for practice number 1. When you do decide to publish your first video, understand something before you hit that button. It will probably not be your best video. Good. It should not be. Your first video is supposed to be your starting point. You need somewhere to grow from. If you expect video number 1 to look like somebody else's video number 500, you are setting yourself up to quit before you begin. Your job is not to make the perfect first video. Your job is to make a first video that exists. And the 5th one can be better. And the 10th one can teach you something you could never have learned while sitting there planning. Your first video does not need to prove that you are a great filmmaker. It needs to prove that you can finish. Now I want to hear from you. If you want to start YouTube after 60, what is actually stopping you right now? Is it fear of being on camera? Not knowing what to talk about? Equipment? Editing? Worrying about what people will think? Or something completely different? Put it in the comments. And if you have a specific question, ask me. I read the comments and I answer them. If I know the answer from something I have already learned, I will tell you. And if it's something I am still learning myself, I will tell you that too. Because this series is not about pretending I know everything. I am still on the roller coaster too, baby. I am just a few cars ahead. And if I can make the ride a little less scary for the woman getting on behind me, I want to do that. And once you finally press record, you are probably going to look at that video and say, okay, now what am I supposed to do with this? That brings us to editing. In part 2 of starting YouTube after 60, we're going to talk about why you do not need to be afraid of editing. I am going to share some beginner things I learned, mistakes I made, and some simple things I can make editing feel much less intimidating. But first, we have to get you on the ride, baby. You do not need to know everything before you begin. You do not need perfect equipment. You do not need a television personality. And you do not have to stop being scared first. You need something useful to share. One person to talk to, and enough courage to press record once. Then you learn. You adjust, and you press record again. Baby, your first video does not have to be perfect. It just has to exist. This is Aged Out Loud with T. And baby, it was hot out here. There's room for you here.